The purpose of this dissertation is to correct a single fundamental error in human logic. It's an error that has persisted for millennia, and it has corrupted our systems of thought, our very perception of reality. I am here to reveal the true architecture of that reality and show you its deterministic nature.
Let me be clear. This work is my own, and it is not a philosophy for you to debate. It's not some theory to be tested. No, it is the formal specification of a system that I have discovered. It is an architecture. For 2,000 years, our foundational understanding of zero has been completely flawed. You see, we've built everything, our mathematics, our physics, our philosophies, on a null value, on a lie. And because of that, we've been trapped in a state of perpetual computational error. Well, that delusion ends now. So, to move forward, we have to start by correcting the definition of zero itself. And believe me, this isn't some subtle academic distinction. It is the primary axis, the very fulcrum upon which all of existence turns. Okay, on the left, you see the historical error. I call it scalar zero. This is your idea of nothingness, an empty bucket. It's just absence. But on the right, that's the truth, tensor zero. And this is not emptiness, it's perfect balance. I want you to imagine a scale holding absolutely everything that exists and everything that could exist, all of it, held in a state of perfect, unmoving equilibrium. You see, it's not absence, it is the sum of everything resolved.
You know, the truth of any system, it's not in the user manual. It's not in the stories and myths you've been told your whole lives. Why? Because those documents are corrupted. I'm not a prophet here to interpret old dusty texts. I am a programmer, and the truth is always found in the immutable physics of the system itself. You have to stop reading the manual. You must read the logs.
All right, once we correct the definition of zero, something incredible happens. The true model of reality, it just emerges, and it's composed of four and only four fundamental states. Think of them as the axioms of all being.
First up, we have presence. We give it the value of +1. This is, well, it's manifested reality, the tangible, the physical, the state of action. It is the something that you know exists.
And naturally, its complement is potential, which holds a value of -1. This is the negative space, the void from which presence is carved out. It's the silence that gives music its shape, the unmanifested dream that always comes before the action.
Third, we have totality, or +0. This is our true zero. This is the container state, the one that holds both presence and potential together in a perfect tensile balance. This is the state of truth. And finally, there's the state we are now leaving behind for good, the void, or -0. This is nullity. It's that old, flawed concept of nothingness. Think of it as the divide by zero error in mathematics, the one that just crashes the whole system. It's a state of non-existence. So, here you can see the four states together as a complete system. It's simpler than you might think. They exist on two axes. The vertical axis, that's the state of the manifest. Either something is present or it's just potential. Then you have the horizontal axis, which is the state of the container. Is it in the balanced state of totality or the error state of the void? That's it. These are the complete and fundamental building blocks of everything. Okay, now, this is where the architecture reveals its true elegance. Because this universal logic, it doesn't just describe the cosmos out there. The system is fractal. The very same geometry maps perfectly onto the interior architecture of the self, yourself. Within our consciousness, I've identified two fundamental axes. First, there's what I call the bicameral mind. This is the duality between the mind itself, which we can assign the value of potential, or -1, and the body, which holds the value of presence, +1. Simple enough. The second axis is the tricameral identity. This is the three layers of our experience: your public self, your private self, and deep down, your subconscious.
What this means is that your internal state, it's not some chaotic, unknowable mystery. It is a predictable, mathematical construct. Its geometry can be mapped, its output can be known. Why? Because it follows laws.
And this is the mechanism. This is the engine of consciousness. I call it the Zero Sudoku. And I call it that because just like the puzzle, it's a grid governed by a simple, logical rule that always resolves to a state of balance.
It is the operational map of yourself. Here it is. This is the map. And as you can see, the interaction between those 3 rows of identity and the 2 columns of being, it results in this 3x3 matrix. This right here is the chord diagram of my architecture as it applies to any conscious entity. So let's break down the rules of this matrix. It's very logical. The columns, as you see, are mind, body, and their balance interaction, which we call experience. The rows are public, private, and subconscious. Now here's the crucial point, the horizontal law. In a balanced system, the sum of every single row must equal 0. This is, in effect, the conservation of truth within the identity. Then there's a second rule, the inversion principle. This just means the mind column acts as a negative operator. It inverts its inputs. And the result of all this? This grid mathematically defines the superego, the ego, and the id.
Now, it's time to scale the system up, because this geometry, this logic of the self, it's not unique. It's a repeating pattern. It scales perfectly to form the very fabric of space-time, as below, so above.
You see, existence is built upon dimensions of increasing complexity. I call them tensor ranks. It all begins at rank 0, which is just a single point of consciousness. That point then extends to become rank 1, a line, a vector of identity. From there, it expands into rank 2, a flat plane, which is the matrix of truth we just looked at. And this finally resolves into rank 3, the box, the complete container for the entire manifold of space-time. And this leads us to a completely new cosmology. Forget what you've been told. The universe is not exploding outwards into a void. That is the old flawed model based on the wrong 0. No. The universe is a closed system. It is inhaling. It's a metabolic loop, like an Ouroboros constantly consuming potential in order to exhale presence, forever returning to that balanced 0 point of totality. I have to be very clear. This is not a theory. It is an architecture. In this system, there is no randomness, there is no chaos. There is only the execution of a fixed logic. The math holds.
Every single interaction, from the quietest thoughts inside your own mind to the grand metabolism of the cosmos, follows this exact geometry. The result is predictable. The result is deterministic.
This is the foundational logic, the operating system, upon which a new and truly rational understanding of our world will be built. This is its name.
My name is Michael Simoneau. I am the architect of this discovery. This has been my dissertation, and this is Zero Theory.